Have you ever heard a sound in the dark that made your blood run cold? A sound that wasn't just an animal, but a warning? Tonight, we're going deep into the mangrove swamps near an old trading village, a place where legends are born from fear and where something ancient still moves beneath the water. The locals have a simple rule: never go there after sunset. They say the earth itself remembers screams, and the tangled vines hide more than just roots. It's a place of shadows and whispers, a place best left alone. But not everyone listens. One stormy evening, a rescue team arrived from the nearby town. Word had spread of a mother pig, trapped and crying out at the swamp's edge. Her desperate squeals echoed through the relentless rain. The villagers, their faces etched with a primal fear, pleaded with the team to turn back. An old man, his voice trembling, grabbed one of the rescuers by the arm. "Leave it," he warned, his eyes wide. "It's not the pig calling. It's the thing that took her." But these were brave men, trained professionals. They saw a distressed animal, a life to be saved. They scoffed at the old tales, dismissing them as village superstitions. They were fearless, or so they thought. Armed with flashlights, ropes, and capture poles, they marched into the suffocating darkness of the swamp. The deeper they ventured, the stranger the world became. The air grew heavy, thick with the scent of decay and something else. Something metallic, like old blood. A profound, unnatural silence descended upon them. The usual symphony of the swamp, the croaking frogs, the chirping crickets, had vanished, as if the entire forest was holding its breath. The only sound was the squelch of their boots in the cold, clinging mud. Then, they heard it. A low, guttural sound, like air being forced through a hollow bone. It was a noise that didn't belong to any animal they knew. It wasn't a growl or a hiss. It was something ancient and hungry. At the same time, something massive shifted just beneath the water's surface, sending ripples spreading out in the dark. Their flashlight beams cut through the gloom and found the source of the cries. There was the mother pig, half submerged in the thick black muck, trembling uncontrollably. But she wasn't just stuck. Coiled around her was a creature from the deepest parts of a nightmare. Its scales were slick and black as oil, each one the size of a man's hand. Its body was thicker than a tree trunk, a monstrous serpent of impossible size. Scars crisscrossed its hide, not random marks from battles, but patterns that looked disturbingly like symbols carved into its flesh over centuries. Then it lifted its head, and its eyes caught the flashlight beams. They weren't animal eyes. They were like two burning embers, glowing with a malevolent intelligence that chilled the rescuers to the bone. This was no ordinary python. This was a titan, an elder god of the swamp. One of the rescuers, driven by instinct and training, lunged forward with a long pole, trying to push the creature away from the pig. But as he did, the swamp itself seemed to come alive to defend its master. The hanging vines, thick as pythons themselves, tightened around their legs and boots, trying to drag them down. A dense, cold fog rolled in from nowhere, swallowing their light and disorienting them completely. Panic erupted. A man screamed, his voice cracking with terror, "It's not alone!" And in that terrifying moment, through a break in the fog, the others swore they saw them. Just below the surface of the water, watching with hollow eyes, were faces, pale, drowned faces of those who had come before them, trapped as silent sentinels in a watery grave. The rescue mission became a frantic fight for survival. They were no longer saviors. They were prey. They scrambled backward, clawing their way through the mud and the grasping vines, their hearts hammering against their ribs. The horrifying sounds of the struggle echoed behind them, a chorus of terror that would be seared into their minds forever. By the time the first light of dawn broke through the canopy, only two of the team stumbled back into the village. They were shells of the brave men who had entered the swamp hours before, covered in mud, their eyes vacant with shock. They spoke little, their minds shattered by what they had witnessed. One of them, however, kept repeating the same phrase over and over, a chilling mantra. It wasn't an animal. It was guarding something. The village fell into a hushed silence. The old tales were no longer superstitions. They were proven facts. No one has dared to go back to the swamp since that night. The fate of the other rescuers remains a dark mystery, another secret swallowed by the mud. Locals claim that on certain nights when the moon is hidden and the air is still, the cries of a mother pig can be heard echoing from the swamp once more. Some say it's the ghost of the animal, forever replaying its final moments. Others believe it's the great python, hunting again, using the familiar sound as a lure. But the old man who gave the warning has a different theory. He whispers that it's the spirits of those who disturbed its sacred ground, forever calling others to join them in the dark water. So, if you ever find yourself near that haunted swamp after dark, and you hear the pitiful cries of an animal in distress, my advice is to turn and walk away. Don't let your compassion be your downfall, because they swear it's not asking to be saved, it's asking you to come closer. Thanks for joining me in the shadows tonight. If you enjoy stories that explore the darkness that lurks just beyond the edge of our world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Stay safe out there, and whatever you do, don't follow the sounds.